Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with an artist profile, as they've been as of late by request. Actually, this is kind of an odd one because I kind of sort of did this one already, but not really. The person that had requested this um, wanted it to be a little more thorough. They wanted to actually see the vinyl and the inserts and all that stuff. So I said, okay, fine. While I'm doing these things, I might as well try to. If I can make somebody happy, let's do it. Speaking of making people happy, you make me very happy by subscribing and by watching my videos, and I thank you very much for doing that. I try to do that at the beginning of every video because it is important for you guys to know that even though I don't always get a chance to comment on everything that I see, I don't have a lot of time even to watch a lot of videos at times, but let alone make them. But I just want people to know, hey, I am in the VC and I'm checking everybody out, and I'm aware that you guys are watching my videos and that I really do appreciate them. As you could tell from the header up top, this is Cheap Trick, and I kind of sort of, like I said, I did one before, but we'll get really into this. So let's do it. We're going to actually do pre-Cheap Trick for one album. I don't always usually do this, but it's so interconnected and it's such a cool album. The group was called Fuse. Rick Nelson. It would help if I held it up right, wouldn't it? Hello, Fuse. It's my Monday. It's not a Monday, it's a Thursday, but it's really my Monday. Every day's Monday now for me. Fuse, Rick Nelson, who's lead guitar player, and I believe the bass player from Cheap Trick was on this as well. 1970. It's listed as 1970, but I believe it was more like 1969. Here's your label. It doesn't really sound anything like Cheap Trick, but it's really, really not a bad album. It's hard to find, kind of hard to find. But if you're interested in kind of a late 60s, early 70s kind of heavy rock and roll band from the Midwest, there you go. Fuse. Now we'll get into the real Cheap Trick stuff. They signed to Epic Records in 1975, I believe, or early 76. And the first album we get from them is Cheap Trick, 1976. This kind of went unnoticed here in the United States. It's a really raw album. It's a great album. It's on that wonderful Epic label. Kind of punky, kind of, I don't know. If you know Cheap Trick, you know Cheap Trick. This is the inner sleeve for that. Lyric sleeve. Really, 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 really cool. They were not polished yet. They weren't the I want you to want me phase yet. They were just really rocking. This in here. We go to their second album, which is the first album that kind of got some notice here in America, but not very much. The single I Want You to Want Me, the studio version, was issued in 77, and it made it into the Billboard charts, but didn't get into the top 40 or anything. A friend of mine, my good buddy Roger Poulin, bought this back in 77, never heard of the group, but he told me he was at our local record store, and he said, I looked at the cover, and I went, these guys, they look so cool. I had to buy the album. In color. Cheap Trick, 1977. This is a great album. And the sad thing about this is the band wasn't all that happy, Epic label, with this record, and they re-recorded it. I don't know if it's ever been reissued yet, but they were unhappy with it because they felt it was too polished. I loved it. I just think this is a great record. The first Cheap Trick album that I really found out about, got a hold of, was this one. 1978. Heaven Tonight. With Surrender and California Man, and oh, what a great album. The inner sleeve kind of looks like a police lineup, doesn't it, man? I love it. I always love that inner sleeve for this. And again, on the original Epic from 78, I believe it was right around this time that they actually came to my hometown. Might have been 79, but with UFO. And the one thing I can say about that concert, loud. Oh my God, was that a loud show. Really, really loud show. But a great show. 1979. Okay, Cheap Trick. Now we're going to be superstars here in America. One thing about Cheap Trick, in 77 they really took off in Japan with I Want You to Want Me and a couple of other singles from the previous album that I just, well, from In Color. Let me see what we got in here. Stuff. Oh, I have more stuff in here. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay. Anyway, live at Budokan, summer of 79. Everybody had this album. Everybody was playing it. Why? It's a great album. And this was right about the time that Epic changed to their bluish kind of label. But I have a very first earlier pressing still on this. But if you have the Epic blue label, it still could be, because the single I Want You to Want Me was actually pressed on that newer Epic label. As far as sleeves and stuff, let me get this stuff out here. We have a booklet. Nice little booklet that came with it. I can show you every page, but it's an interesting little booklet. Lots of nifty little pictures of the band. Highly recommend this album. Again, we're in the prime of Cheap Trick's wonderfulness, I guess, for the lack of a better word. Another album that I think is really great. Some people are like, I think they're starting to die here, but no, I love this album. Dream Police, 1979, towards the end of the year of 1979. Speaking of police lineups, it was bound to happen with these guys. And the Dream Police inner sleeve. Yeah. They're all ready to get you. And this is where the Epic label for the albums actually switched over. And you can see that's the Epic label I'm talking about. Okay. The bluer label. Like I said, if you've got copies of Live at Budokan on that, it still could be from 79, believe it or not, but anyway. Okay, now we're going to get into something they put out in 1980. A couple of EPs. I want to show you these two. These are really kind of cool because this is an insert that came. Epic was trying to push these 10-inch EPs. It didn't work, but they were trying to push them. If you look at these, every one of these has, I have two pressings of this. There's your two members on that. But when I pull out the other one and I show you in a second, you're going to find that it's the other two members of Cheap Trick. You had to take, and to get all four guys on the label, you had to buy two different pressings of this 4-song EP. Let me show you what's inside here. Oh, this is just an interesting, weird thing. This is, my friend Mike would dig this. Kind of from that same era, I think. The Cheap Trick comic. A little quick comic. I don't remember where the heck this came from. I don't remember what this came in, but a little Cheap Trick comic thing. Anyway, I throw it in here just because. Here you go with your other two members. Go, and then on the other side. So, with this collection, if you bought it, there was a hit off of it, but unfortunately, it wasn't actually issued on the EP itself. The EP, you had a promotional single that came with it. See? had the song "Everything Works If You Let It." This has got a great version of Day Tripper. It's billed as a live thing. These are supposedly, the way this was billed as songs from each year, 76, 77, 78, and 79. But the truth of the matter is that they were all recorded in 1980. And even though it sounds like it's a live version of Day Tripper, it's what I was told it's not. They added some live noise to make it appear like it came from the live Budokan show, supposedly. We move on. All Shook Up with the song "Can't Stop the Music" or "Stop This Game." I'm sorry, "Stop This Game." I love that. This is this had the potential to be an incredible album because you've got Cheap Trick with George Martin from the Beatles producing it. This just has the typical Epic sleeve that I show label, the blue one, so I won't show you. But this album, there were some membership issues and stuff, and it isn't what it should have been, but it's got some high points on it for sure. On to 82 for One on One, and that's the back for One on One. We're getting kind of into the era now where Cheap Trick, I mean, they had their moments of wonderfulness, but, you know, still, you know, these are not hard albums to find. And, you know, so if you see them for $1 or $2, pick them up. I mean, you know, give yourself a break. And I believe this is on the original. I'll look just to make sure. I don't think there's a custom Sleepy Ab. Again, just for the heck of it, the Epic. Right. We'll move on now to Next Position, Please. There's the back, in case you care, and the inner sleeve for that. And again, yeah, on that Epic. Like I said, we're getting into the era where it's, you know, they're not horrible albums, but they're not Heaven Tonight either. On the Edge, 1985, I believe, was this one. Not one of my favorite albums by them, but again, not super hard to find. Let's show the inners of that. All of these, by the way, are on the Epic label. They got dumped by Epic in '93, I believe. 1986, The Doctor. Kind of, we're getting into kind of a low point for them, artistically and stuff. But they were going to rebound here right quickly. Again, the Epic label. I keep checking. I'm not going to show you. I just want to make sure there's no custom labels that I've forgotten about. 1988. They came back. The last luxury LP. They started having hits again. But it was that late 80s kind of other people writing your hits, you know, kind of period that Heart went through, and you know, a lot of other artists were having big hits again, but it really wasn't them. It was kind of weird, you know. There's your inner sleeve. It's not a bad album. It's not my favorite. Again, my favorite albums are the first, say, 5 albums from them that I showed you. And this does have a custom sleeve, or not sleeve, but label. Kind of cool. We got one more to show ya, and that the last one, 1990. It's the last one I have on vinyl. I have like Rockford and stuff like that upstairs on CD, but I just really want to show you the vinyl stuff. Busted. In my opinion, another brick wall. for the band. This is in the original shrink. And yeah, there's nothing. I'm trying to see if I put. No, this one didn't come with an original. Didn't come with an inner sleeve, basic paper sleeve. And again, for one last time for you guys, that epic label. So anyway, that is my Cheap Trick vinyl collection. Anyway, LP collection by request. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was that requested it. It was a while ago. I'm trying to get to these things as they are being requested. So, I mean, I know some of you are asking for other things, and they may take a little while, even if I have them. If I don't have them, I'll let you know. No, there's no way I'm not going to be able to do an artist profile of these people. But if you haven't heard back from me about something you've asked, the odds are really good that I have enough to do it. But I really want to get to the people who've asked first, okay, to try to be fair. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. Any questions, comments, concerns, blah, 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 blah. Put them in the comment section or PM me or whatever. Until next time, everybody, peace and love.